Quiet group tonight. This is the regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Arizona, to be held September 4, 2018 at 6 p.m. First is the call to order.
Councilmember Althouse.
Here.
Councilmember Henry.
Here.
Councilmember Howdigi.
Here.
Councilmember Norman.
Here.
Councilmember Piper.
Here.
Vice Mayor Allen.
Here.
Mayor Alinsky.
Here, thanks. I said call to order, but I meant roll call. You all knew what I meant. And up next is Pledge of Allegiance. And after we say the pledge, I would appreciate if we could remain standing and share a moment of silence for the loss of Senator McCain. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is a brief summary of current events by Mayor, City Council, and/or City Manager. The public body does not propose, discuss, deliberate, or take legal action on any matter brought up during the summary unless the specific matter is properly noticed for legal action. Have any council members have anything to share, please?
Go ahead and let Deb go first. Excuse me. I just have a reminder, along with Thunder Valley Rally, which is happening on the 14th and the 15th of September. We also have an event called Little Bikers. And Little Bikers is an event where motorcyclists and either on 2 wheels or 4 wheels show up, and we go over. This year we're going over to Cottonwood Middle School, and we're going to be talking to 1st and 2nd graders. So last year we impacted about 40 children in preschool, and this year we're looking at talking to over 100 children in 1st and 2nd grade. So you can be on 2 wheels or 3 wheels. You can be on 4 if you must. But we'll be meeting on September 13th, which is a Thursday, 10 o'clock in the morning at the American Legion Post 25. We'll ride over as a group to Cottonwood Middle School, which it used to be, or Cottonwood Community School, which used to be our middle school on Mingus. And we'll be talking with 1st and 2nd graders. Kyla Allen will be one of our guest speakers, talking to the children about looking twice for motorcycles, trying to get kids engaged in the fact that we're going to have motorcycles in town and looking for them, counting them, looking at the different colors. And we'll be giving them coloring books. The kindergartners are in the same pod as these 1st and 2nd graders, so the kindergartners are going to be allowed to come outside as well. And then we let the kids get on the bikes. I believe the local newspapers will be there documenting it. Last year, one little boy, one little 3-year-old, I think he was, made the front page of the Verde Independent. It was really cool. So just another way for us to be engaging our youth in what's happening in our town. So I encourage people to show up if you can. If you need more information, you can reach out to me.
Great, thank you.
Go ahead. Okay, I've got 3 items. First one is I attended what's called a Public Speakers Mastermind Forum at the 360 Coffee Shop at 468 South Main Street the last Monday of last month. It's a speakers club for those that need to learn how to speak more clearly, want to come before a couple people and rehearse a speech before they come before the 500 people. It's a really nice, very relaxed forum. Anybody interested is allowed to come and do a 1, 3, 5, or however long minute speech. So if you're interested in just coming and watching, seeing what it's about, come on down last Monday of the month. So it'll be last Monday of September. Second one was I attended a Professional Women's Group annual board meeting. It was wonderful. We've made our activities for the coming year. We have quarterly meetings to celebrate professional women. Whether you were, whether you are, whether you want to be, everyone's invited. We even have some guys coming. We had the annual league conference, which was amazing this year. We got most of the council to attend, and everybody's always amazed at the quality of education that we attend while we're there. New council members are going to be blown away, I know, when they get to attend. The biggest thing for me at that league conference was, of course, Karen Pfeiffer was recognized as being a on the council for 24 and actually 25 years as she's retiring this year. So she got that recognition. That was great. She's one of two that received that recognition. Not many can handle this group for that long. So she did great. Those are my 3 items.
And I just had one brief item. During the pre-meeting at 5:30 today, we issued a proclamation proclaiming September as Suicide Prevention Month, and I'm personally committed to doing what I can to help raise awareness and try to prevent suicide. During the presentation, we heard from John Schuterer, who is working with the Suicide Prevention Coalition of Yavapai County, about some of the just devastating effects of suicide in our local community. And I wanted to invite any members of the public that wanted to walk with me during one of the upcoming walks to fight suicide. There's one coming up that I'll be doing September 22 at 9 a.m. at Bison Park in Flagstaff. And then there's another one that is in Prescott, November 3rd, 2018. So if anybody would like any details, you can feel free to contact me, and I'll point you in the right direction, and hope you'll support this really important awareness campaign.
Thank you.
Very much. I did have one more thing. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention. For those people that voted, of course, thank you, but it's not about me. I wanted to bring up a statistic which I thought made it amazing. We had such a great turnout. Last year, the 2016 election, and we can always do better, but to me this was wonderful. We had 4,603 votes during a presidential election cycle. This year we had 5,431 votes. This is an off year. For everybody that was out there running, every candidate, everybody out there beating the bushes, good job to get that much engagement in the public, to get that many more people out to vote, and we need to continue to be able to do that. I just wanted to say great job.
Good. Thank you. Any other council members? Okay. I'll just share briefly that we met last week with NACOG, Northern Arizona Council of Governments, and the regional council did approve the additional, I believe it was $120,000 of funding that we needed for Mingus, for the overages on that project, so that's good. And I thank them on behalf of the council.
Great, thank you.
And City Manager, do you have anything to report?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Our Cottonwood Youth Advisory Commission is looking for new members. They need to be 8th through 12th grade. They need to be motivated, service-oriented, and want to make a difference in the community. And they'll be accepting applications until September 21st at the Recreation Center. So any kids interested in that, it's a great group. Also, just a reminder to the council and public that the Old Town Music and the Market begins again Thursday, September 6th through September 27th. Again, the market will open at 5 p.m. every Thursday at the Old Town Activity Park. And we kind of split it up this year to try and avoid the monsoon season. I'm not sure we're going to be successful the way it's going. But if you want more information, you can go to oldtownmusicandthemarket.org, and they'll have all the information there. Last but not least, as Councilmember Althouse talked a little bit about, Thunder Valley Rally is coming up, and it'll be September 12th through the 15th. You can purchase $10 weekend event passes, and it includes access to the concerts and motorcycle parking. Car parking at Riverfront Park is $5, and there will be a free cat shuttle service, which will run between the parking lots and the hotels. And again, for more information, you can visit thundervalleyrallyaz.com. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. All right, next up is approval of the minutes of the work session of June 12th, 2018, regular meeting of July 17, 2018, special meeting of July 31, 2018, regular meeting of August 7, 2018, and the work session of August 14, 2018. I'll go ahead and motion to approve.
There were some typos. One that I wrote down was 718, page 8, paragraph 10, and we is listed twice. There were a couple others, but I didn't write them all down.
You can just email them.
I can email them to you, Mary Ann, the other ones that It was a lot of minutes, and I realized it was a lot of minutes because we canceled the last meeting. Because I was gonna bring up, why are we reviewing so many minutes? This is a lot of minutes to read.
Right.
But I realized it was no fault of yours. It was because the last meeting got canceled, so.
Okay.
uh,
I think if they're just typographical in nature, then we can go ahead and approve.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, minutes are approved.
We
Does
missed-
that pass muster on?
Yeah, I'm sorry, we were sidebarring. As long as the clerk is comfortable recording the outcome of the vote, that's the new obligation.
Okay. Just to refresh the confused members of the public or listening audience, there's been some changes in the way that we have to take our votes up here. So we'll be doing a roll call vote for pretty much everything, but minutes and I think adjourning. Okay.
Did we go out of order, or did I miss call to the public?
Oh, you sure did catch me in a trip up. So let's back up then and go to call to the public, excuse me. This portion of the agenda is set aside for the public to address the council regarding an item that is not listed on the agenda for discussion. However, the council cannot engage in discussion regarding any item that is not officially listed on the agenda for discussion and/or action. Are there any folks here tonight that would like to address the council? Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Sorry, I just
No,
wasn't sure if.
I passed it up. Thank you. Okay, so now we move on to unfinished business here. First item is public hearing regarding a proposed increase in most of the city's transaction privilege tax rates by 0.5%.
Mayor and Council, I'm Rudy Rodriguez. I am the Deputy City Manager for the City of Cottonwood. Today, of course, we've got two items. One, of course, is the public hearing, and the other one is the ordinance. We'll start with the public hearing, though. Just some quick background for those that haven't been around during the entire process. Back in May 2015, May 15, 2018, and of course, all during the budget process, we talked about the sales tax issue. And one of the things that came up with during the discussion was trying to decide which direction we would go. We discussed 0.25, 0.5, 0.65, and also 1% increase. During these meetings, there was a consensus to go with a rate of 0.15. Am I saying 0.5? Yes, I did. Okay. I don't want to get this confused because it's 0.5, not 5%. On August 7th, 2018, we held our first public hearing on this issue. And to now we're kind of having our second public hearing on this issue. Once the public hearing is closed later on in a few minutes, then we have to go ahead and go along with the actual adoption of the ordinance as it follows. And at this point, that's really all I have. We'll continue with this. Just one last caveat. It will become effective either November 1st or December 1st. Did we get a response from DOR?
We're still waiting to hear back.
So do we have to determine that today?
No, the ordinance is written in the alternative. So if we get the written consent under the, just for context, under an IGA with the state for joint tax collection, we would ordinarily, the ordinance would be able to take effect November 1st, but there's a notification deadline in that IGA that would require a minimum of 60 days and the first of the next month. So there's 2 or 3, maybe 4 days leniency we need from ADOR by way of their written consent to have it take effect on November 1. And we've made that request. Informally, we've been told it's the person I talked to is favorably inclined toward it, but there's other folks that need to be consulted before we get the official response.
Okay.
So once we have that notification, we'll go ahead and make sure we get that out to the public.
Okay. Okay, so this is a public hearing, so I would go ahead and ask if there's anyone here tonight to address the council on the proposed 0.5% sales tax increase. Okay. This is the finish line of a long process. We've certainly been discussing this for many, many meetings. And I hope that the public has had an opportunity, many opportunities to speak with their counsel. I know I've been in many conversations with many folks over this issue. So if there are no folks here tonight, then I will go ahead and close the floor to the public, and we can move on then to ordinance number 645, increasing most of the city's transaction privilege tax rates by 0.5%, second and final reading.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. This is the second final reading of ordinance 645, increasing most of the city transaction privilege tax rates by 0.5%. We've added the increasing most because there are some that we cannot increase. You may recall that rental tax cannot be increased without the vote of the public. Also, mining is another one that is at 0.1, I believe. 0.15 or 1, but we can't increase that one by statute. So for the most part, all other items will be increased by the 0.5%. Again, this is the second public hearing on it. We're expecting to generate approximately $2.5 million in revenue, of which the council has directed us to allocate those three type, not all of them, but about 70% goes through three items. One is replenishment of reserves, the other one is street and transportation projects, and then lastly is to help pay down the pension liabilities.
And if I may, I misspoke. Rudy was right. It is 0.1 on the mining, just for the record.
Okay. Council, is there any discussion on this item? Final thoughts, prayers, anything to share?
We know everybody stands.
No, okay. All right, well, again, I'll just say, it was not an easy decision to arrive at. I am hopeful that in the coming years we'll put more of that 0.5% toward infrastructure and reserves. I believe we can get there. I understand we were in a pinch this year, but I'm hopeful that in the coming years we can dedicate more of that 0.5% toward the things that I know this community is very concerned about, and infrastructure being top of mind for most folks. So if there's no other discussion, then I would ask for a motion.
I move to approve ordinance number 645, increasing most of the city's transaction privilege tax rate by 0.5%.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Norman made the motion. Councilmember Pfeiffer seconded it. I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote on the motion to approve ordinance number 645. Councilmember Althouse.
No?
Councilmember Henry.
No.
Councilmember Howdigy.
No.
Councilmember Norman.
Yes.
Councilmember Pfeiffer.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Allen.
Yes.
Mayor Alinsky.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Council.
Okay, next on the agenda is ordinance number 647, amending this. Excuse me. Thank you. Man, I'm just tripping up all over tonight. Excuse me.
Ordinance number 645, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, relating to the city's transaction privilege tax, amending the city of Cottonwood tax code by increasing by 0.5% the transaction privilege tax rates for all city tax categories, business codes, as reflected in the official tax table for the city of Cottonwood, published by the Arizona Department of Revenue and dated as of August 1st, 2018, except for the tax on metal mining, the tax on residential rental, leasing, and licensing for use, and is otherwise limited by law, and providing for penalty, severability, and an effective date. Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next and last on the unfinished business side is ordinance number 647, amending the city's zoning ordinance by adding a new subsection 3, maximum building height, to section 404, general provisions, subsection H, height regulations, second and final reading. Evening, Chief.
Mayor, Council, Mike Kirkendall, Fire Chief. Ordinance number 647 is a changing the provisions, or an amendment to the provisions in Cottonwood zoning ordinance number 404 and the general provisions, and it concerns building heights and requiring all new buildings greater than 3 stories or 40 feet in height to be constructed of non-combustible materials. This was requested by the Fire and Medical Department, based, as I had mentioned in our previous meeting, based upon our ability to provide both the manpower and the apparatus to be able to effectively fight a fire in a building of greater than 3 stories. We have a number of non-combustible construction. We have a number of 3-story buildings already in our community of combustible construction, which are sprinklered. I believe they all are at this point, sprinklered. But when we get to the 4-story, we just don't have the ladder apparatus or the manpower to be able to handle that. So we need to have the provisions to give us the best opportunity to contain a fire in that type of a structure. So this would apply then to all new structures, regardless of the zoning, what's the word, the zone, the zoning zone, and those would be, including those that would be approved. Most buildings are not going to be able to be approved except in PADs or where they have a conditional use permit. In a nutshell, that's it. Any questions?
Are there any questions for the chief?
No. Make a motion.
Mr. Mayor, it probably is important to state too that the one 4-story building we do have in the city is of non-combustible material and sprinkled.
And that's the hospital.
Right.
And we would, and any other construction, we would like to see it at the same level of safety as that building.
Sure. Okay. Please.
Move to approve ordinance number 647.
I'll second that. And so the vice mayor made the motion, mayor seconded it, and we do roll call vote, please.
Roll call vote on ordinance number 647. Councilmember Althouse.
Yes.
Councilmember Henry.
Yes.
Councilmember Howdige.
Yes.
Councilmember Norman.
Here, yes.
Councilmember Piper.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Allen.
Yes.
Mayor Alinsky.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank
City,
you. I want to do that every time.
City Clerk, please read ordinance number 647 by title only.
Ordinance number 647, an ordinance of the mayor and city council of the city of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, amending the city zoning ordinance by adding a new section 3, maximum building height, to section 404, general provisions, H height regulations. Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving along, we fall on the consent agenda here. Following items are considered to be routine, non-controversial by the council, and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. Only one item tonight on the consent agenda, and it is release of Lot 2 from the third-party trust agreement with Virtual Realty Enterprises, LLC for the Mesquite Hills subdivision. Are there any council members that would like to have this item pooled? Any members of the public that would like to have this item pooled? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve?
Move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Henry made the motion. Councilmember Norman seconded it. Oh, was that Allhouse? Excuse me, Councilmember Allhouse seconded it. Do we need a roll call or?
Again, no. The clerk will be the one to tell us. The clerk now has a duty to make sure that there's an accurate record of which council members voted which way on each item, and if she's comfortable with a collective vote.
Are you comfortable with a collective vote on the consent agenda?
I would prefer a roll call.
Okay, fine. Okay, City Clerk, please take roll call vote.
Councilmember Althouse.
Yes.
Councilmember Henry.
Yes.
Councilmember Howdige.
Yes.
Councilmember Norman.
Yes.
Councilmember Piper.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Allen.
Yes.
Mayor Alinsky.
Yes, thank
Motion
you.
carried to approve the consent agenda.
Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to streamline it as much as possible. But we're okay. New business. The following items are for council consideration, or excuse me, discussion, consideration, and possible legal action. We have one item under new business tonight. It is resolution number 2964, agreement with the Northern Arizona Council of Governments for the use of social services block grant funds for the Cottonwood area transit system. Hello again.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. And I'm Rudy Rodriguez. I'm the Deputy City Manager for Cottonwood. This is basically a renewal of contract we've had in the past with NACOG, and what it does, it provides transportation services, or actually subsidies, for low-income individuals for this upcoming year. most of these individuals, of course, they don't have a vehicle, and for the most part, this is an essential way for them to be get transported around town, both to look for jobs, to go medical service, to go get medical services, go grocery shopping and the like. Most of these people don't just ride on the bus to ride the bus. These people need this particular service, and we're glad to provide it if council will go ahead and approve this.
Are there any questions for Mr. Rodriguez?
I'm just going to make a comment.
Yeah, please.
How grateful I am for the area transit system that we have. Most of you know that I have a brother that had a stroke, and it's such a challenge to get him around town and still do what I need to do, which is probably the busiest it's ever been. So I really appreciate the fact that NACOG steps up and provides that funding to be able to allow those lower income people to get back and forth. I'm personally affected by that, so I appreciate it.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. It's a pleasure to provide it.
Ready for a motion?
Please.
I move to approve resolution number 2964, approving an agreement with NACOG for the provision of subsidized transportation services to low-income individuals for fiscal year 2019.
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Norman made the motion, Councilmember Henry seconded it, and City Clerk, please take roll call vote.
Roll call vote on resolution number 2964. Councilmember Althouse?
Yes.
Councilmember Henry?
Yes.
Councilmember Howdige?
Yes.
Councilmember Norman?
Yes.
Councilmember Pfeiffer?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Allen?
Yes.
Mayor Alinsky?
Yes, thank you.
Motion carried.
Please read.
Mayor, Council.
Thank you. City Clerk, please read resolution number 2964 by title only.
Resolution number 2964, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of the City of Cottonwood, Yavapai County, Arizona, approving an agreement with the Northern Arizona Council of Governments for the use of social services block grant funds for the Cottonwood area transit system. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Okay, next on the agenda is claims and adjustments.
Move we pay the claims and adjustments?
Second.
Okay, Vice Mayor made the motion, Councilmember Pfeiffer seconded it, and roll call on this? No, okay, I'm just checking. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay,
Thank you.
and the motion passes. And up next is the annual review of the city attorney executive session. Pursuant to A.R.S. 38-431.03A1, the council may vote to convene an executive session to conduct its annual performance evaluation of the city attorney, subject to the city attorney's right to compel the council to discuss this matter in open meeting. And I do believe you'd prefer to be in executive session.
Yes, Mayor.
Okay.
I move we move to executive session?
Second.
Okay, so Vice Mayor Allen made the motion. Councilmember Henry seconded it. Roll call vote then to convene into executive session. All in favor then?
Aye.
Any opposed? Then we're going to convene an executive session, folks. We'll be out in
2 or 3 hours.
2 or 3 hours. Who knows? It's a review of the attorney, but if you would like to stick around, you're more than welcome to. And we did review our city attorney's performance for the year. It was a good review, strong review, and his contract runs through September of 2019. Council doesn't see any need to change that based on his strong review. He did not ask for a merit increase, and council did not offer a merit increase, so his salary will remain the same, and we appreciate what you do for Cottonwood.
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Okay, Councilmember Henry, or Aldhouse made the motion, Henry seconded it. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? We're adjourned, thank you.
Thank you.